Example 3. To find the derivative of f of x equals x cubed plus 2x, use the definition of derivative as shown. Okay, so we've gone over this a few times. This is the definition of a derivative. It will allow us to find the slope of any function, as long as that slope is defined and the x value that you're trying to find the slope at exists. Okay? So, in order to use the definition of the derivative, we need to figure out f of x plus delta x. We already know f of x. That's right here. So to find f of x plus delta x, we need to substitute everywhere there is an x. We're going to substitute that with x plus delta x. So we're going to make this x plus delta x cubed plus 2 times x plus delta x. So f of x plus delta x equals x plus delta x times x plus delta x times x plus delta x. And I'll distribute the 2, I'll multiply that through, and giving us 2x plus 2 delta x. Next, I will multiply x plus delta x times x plus delta x. So that will give me x squared plus x delta x plus x delta x plus delta x squared, and then that would be multiplied by x plus delta x plus 2x plus 2 delta x. Then f of x plus delta x. Now I'm going to have to multiply all of this together. This gets pretty nasty. So how I suggest that you multiply that, I would do a chart like this. So I'm going to write out x squared plus, I'm going to add these together. This would be 2x delta x plus delta x squared. And then I'm going to multiply that by x plus delta x. So it's going to make this chart here. Where I'm going to multiply x times x squared, which would be x cubed, then x times 2x plus delta x would be 2x squared delta x times delta x squared would be x times delta x squared. This would end up being x squared delta x. This would be 2x delta x squared. And this would be delta x cubed. So if I combine like terms, so if you can see here, these are going to be like terms, and these are going to be like terms, this would end up equaling x cubed plus 3x squared delta x plus 3x delta x squared plus delta x cubed. So now I'm going to replace all that I have highlighted in yellow with this x cubed plus 3x squared delta x plus 3x delta x squared plus delta x cubed plus 2x plus 2 delta x. Okay? Alright, so now I have f of x plus delta x. Now I'm ready to use this definition here. So f prime of x is equal to the limit of this f of x plus delta x. I'm going to substitute that with this whole thing that I've written out here. So this would be x cubed plus 3x squared delta x plus 3x delta x squared plus delta x cubed plus 2x plus 2 delta x. And then I'm going to subtract from that f of x. f of x is right here. So that's going to be x cubed plus 2x. All of that is going to be divided by delta x as delta x goes to 0. Now notice here, x cubed minus x cubed, that would be 0. 2x minus 2x, that would be 0. So now this simplifies some. So f prime of x, that means the derivative of f of x of the limit is 3x squared delta x plus 3x delta x squared plus delta x cubed plus 2 delta x all over delta x as delta x goes to 0. Now notice that we have a delta x in each one of these terms, so I can divide the delta x by each one of those terms, resulting in the derivative of f of x equals the limit of 3x squared plus 3x delta x plus delta x squared plus 2. As delta x goes to 0, the denominator will go away. We divided that all the way through. And now we can evaluate the limit. So through direct substitution, that would be 0. This would be 0. So this is going to be equal to 3x squared plus 2. This would be the derivative of this.